Welcome to Model Monday Live. While we are trying to do this 3D CAD live solve, we can see that over on the left, we've got the chat running, and we've got members of the audience using the chat and attempting to work their way through this model. And the model that they are working through is this model here, the lid hanger, and this is what we're going to do a tutorial on right now using Onshape. So we're going to find this tutorial, we're going to find this challenge over at TooTallToby.com. If you haven't been on TooTallToby.com before, what we've got here is a library of 2D drawings where you can challenge yourself to try to turn these into 3D models. And the cool thing about these drawings is that whenever you're going through and trying to finish one of these drawings, the correct answer is pre-programmed into the tool. And so that way, if you're going through and you're trying to model this and you come up with what you think is the right answer, you get feedback right away indicating this is incorrect. The clock is still running. Please continue trying to solve. Now, one of the things that we do at TooTallToby.com is we have a featured sponsor for some featured models up here. And right now, the featured sponsor is CADpractice.com. This is actually another website that I'm working on for CAD educators. So if you're teaching a classroom full of students and you want a great digital workbook to help manage that classroom, you can check this out, CADpractice.com. It's a new project that we are working on. And up here in this section with that featured sponsor, we have these challenges that are free for everyone, including this one, 26-04-06. Now, this is a really special challenge because we literally just released this one 5 minutes ago. And wow, 5 people have already solved it, even though we just released it 5 minutes ago. That is cool. And we've got a tool built in here at TooTallToby.com called the First 42, where we can track how fast people finished it from the time it was released. And we're going to take a look at that at the end, and we're going to award a point to the fastest person. That's what we do every week here at Model Monday Live. So let's click into this model and see what it takes to solve this model. Here we go. My name is Toby. I'm using Onshape, and I'm from the United States. And let's reveal this drawing in 3, 2, 1, go! And so the question on this model is, what is the mass of this part in XXX grams, tolerance plus or minus 1 gram? And we can see here that we're going to try and enter our answer in right down here in this box. And we can look at this model, and some of the things that I'm going to look at before I actually jump into the 3D CAD are going to be things that are going to help me kind of come up with a CAD game plan. So the first thing I'm going to notice is the model has symmetry, and that tells me the origin is going to be somewhere along that line of symmetry. And I think what I would probably do is I would start with the origin right here and maybe make my first sketch a center point rectangle that starts at that origin and comes out by 200 by 45 millimeters. And then I would take that rectangle and I would extrude it out to 3 millimeters, and that's going to put my origin right in the middle here. Now, once I've got that plate extruded, maybe I would go through and add in the 8 millimeter fillets onto that plate, and then I'm kind of done with that section of the model. You know, one of my common strategies is I like to discretize a model into different sections. So I think for this model, the first section would be this kind of main plate here. The second section would be to get this sweep shape created here. Then the third section would be to mirror that sweep section over. So get that main plate all taken care of, and then I can really focus on that sweep section. Now for that sweep section, what I'm going to be doing is some layout geometry. So I'll probably create a sketch that maybe comes up 6 millimeters from the bottom of the part, and I'll use that sketch to create these two lines here at 33 millimeters. Looks like they're 46 millimeters apart. And then I would probably create another sketch here on this surface. If you imagine there's a surface out here now, surface out here now, I'll probably create another sketch on that surface, and that sketch is going to be for these 3 lines here. The one thing that's kind of an unknown right now, and I'm just going to have to kind of figure it out during this live solve, is how I'm going to get the fillets into the corners there, because I know that by default, Onshape doesn't have a 3D sketching tool, and I know that Victor K in the chat says, it's okay, you don't need to use a 3D sketch. So hopefully I'll get some guidance here as I'm going through this. Looks like he says you could do it with a routing curve. Matab says you could do it with multi-body. Oh, that's good. Yep, you could definitely do it with multi-body as well. I think I'm going to give it a try. I'll try this here using a routing curve and see what I can come up with. So that's it for my game plan. I know we took about 2 minutes to come up with a game plan, but I think it's always important to come up with a game plan before you jump into the 3D CAD. And if you agree, be sure to hit the like button on this video. So let me bring up my keyboard cam down here so you can see any keyboard shortcuts I'm using. And let me bring up my seat of Onshape here. Let me say open in a new window. This is something we have at TooTallToby.com to make it a little bit easier to move this onto my second screen. So I'll open that in a new window. I'll move this over here so that we can kind of keep an eye on the clock as we are solving. And let's get into Onshape and see how this is done. So here we've got Onshape up, and I'm going to choose to create a new document here in Onshape. Create document, and I'm going to call this document 26-04-06 space space, lid, hanger, and I'm going to create this in the public space. So if you're watching this tutorial and you get stuck, you could just launch a free or a paid seed of Onshape, search in the public space for this text, and you can actually open up the model that I'm creating right now. And once I get this model up and running, I'm going to start out by going to the front plane. Well, actually, the first thing I'm going to do is go into my workspace units and just make sure I'm in millimeters and grams. I'm pretty confident that I am because those are my defaults, but it's always good to double check. Whoops, did I change something there by accident? No, okay, good. We're good. So now I'm going to go to the front plane, S key, begin a new sketch, S key, center point rectangle, single click here, move my mouse, single click again, let go of my mouse, 200, enter, 45, enter. And that's one of the most common workflows you do in 3D CAD, getting a rectangle centered on the origin. So it's definitely worth it for you to continue to practice that workflow and really get that workflow down. You should be very comfortable with doing that workflow pretty quickly. So now I'm going to jump into extrude, and then we're going to tab, tab, tab down to the distance there, and that distance is going to be 3, enter, enter. Boom, done with that first step. Now let's create a fillet here. And for the fillet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this corner, and I'm going to grab this corner, and I'm going to grab this corner, and I'm going to grab this corner. You can see here I'm using a window select to get those corners just to make it a little bit easier than going around and picking the edges. Just kind of saves me having to zoom in, zoom out. Another good trick to remember as you're working through Onshape and through a lot of 3D CAD packages. A lot of CAD packages have that offering. So that's going to be 8, enter, enter, and there is kind of our first discretized area of the model. So now what we want to do is create a new plane which is offset from the bottom. So I'll pick on this face here, and then I'll choose the plane command, and that distance for the offset is going to be 6 millimeters, and then I'll just reverse the direction of that, and there we go. And that creates a plane that's 6 millimeters from the bottom that I can use to create those 33 millimeter lines. So on that new plane, I'm going to create a new sketch. Maybe for this one, I'll get normal 2 just so I'm looking down from the top, and I'm going to create a line here, single click, move my mouse out this way, single click, 33, and then I'll create another line over here, and this one I can just kind of like so, and then I'll take that line and this line here and press E to make them equal. I'll take this edge and this point, I for coincident, this edge and this point, I for coincident, and now all I need to do is add in a couple of dimensions. From the center of the model over to this line is going to be 39, and then from this line over to this line is going to be a distance of 46. And so again, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing with these lines, so for now I'm just going to finish this sketch like so and kind of make that my layout. Maybe I'll call this something like Shift-N layout bottom of sweep, and then I'll right mouse button on that, and from the right mouse button I'll choose the option for Edit Sketch Appearance and just make that like a red color, something that'll really pop out when I'm looking at that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the front plane, and then I'm also going to click on this point here of that sketch line, of that 33 millimeter line. So you see 2 things are selected, and then I'm going to click the plane command, and Onshape automatically creates a new plane using the plane point condition. So basically parallel to the front plane exactly at that point. So that's what I want for that new plane. So I'll hit the check mark, and there we go. And the reason that's helpful is because now I can start a new sketch on that plane. So new sketch here, S key sketch on that plane, and I can create the geometry. Let's go S key line for the line that comes up here at kind of an angle, the line that comes across horizontal, and then the other line that goes down here at kind of an angle. And now we can hit escape, and then we could maybe get normal 2 just to make it a little easier to put in some of those angle dimensions. So one little trick that I always like to remember is that when you're going to add angles, you could add them maybe to edges of the model. So this is going to be an angle here of 10 degrees. You could also add them to a plane from the model. So I could choose this plane over here and add that in at 10 degrees. And then the height from this lower point or from this plane here to this line is going to be a height of 33. So I always try to remember that you can dimension directly to those planes. So now I can exit that sketch. I can maybe call this one Shift-N layout front of sweep. And then, whoops, oh, I nailed that one. Shift-N layout. I only missed several letters. Front of sweep. All right. And so now, again, maybe what I would do is right mouse button, edit sketch appearance, and maybe again, make it like a red, or maybe I'll make this one kind of like a purple, just something that kind of makes it stand out. And so now Victor K suggested maybe trying to use routing curve. All right, let's try it. So for the first time ever, we go in here to routing curve, never used this before. So I'm just going to search for it up here in my search commands. And then once I search for that, here it is, routing curve. We've got these options up here, the option for spline and the option for polyline. I'm going to use the option for polyline. I don't want a spline because I don't want it to have necessarily curvature continuity. I kind of want it to just be tangent into an actual radius corner. So now I can specify what that radius corner is going to be, and that's going to be 5. And then here I can either choose segment or points. Well, since each of these lines is just a straight line, I think points should work fine. So then I can come down here to vertices, and I'll use this as my first vertice, this is my second, and then this as my third. And then, oh, look at this. We're already seeing that radius connect there in the corner. This is what I like to see. And so then for my fourth, I'll pick this one here, fifth, and then sixth and final vertice, I'll pick this one over here. And that looks like what we want. Nice. So we didn't even need a 3D sketch. We were able to do that all with a routing curve. Kind of cool. It also shows you the length of that curve. I like that too. Now we know how much wire we need to purchase to bend into the shape. So now that we've got that shape in there, I think what we could do is we could create another new sketch maybe on this surface here. So S key sketch, and then we'll sketch a circle, and we'll drop that circle either here at this endpoint or here at this endpoint. I'll just drop it here. Single click, move my mouse, single click again, and that is going to be a 6mm diameter wire. And then once I've got that, I can exit that sketch and jump into a sweep command here in Onshape. So sweep, and I'm going to be sweeping this circle shape here. Maybe the plane is getting in the way. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it's highlighting here. So what I'll do is I'll use this key on my keyboard. So you see that key there? If I keep tapping that key, eventually I can get the boundary around where my mouse is to highlight, which I'm looking for that orange circle boundary to highlight. And then once that highlights, then I can left click, and now that becomes the region that's going to be swept. And then for the sweep path, I'll choose the routing curve here. And oh yeah, that's looking good. Yeah, we like that. That's a winner. So now I will choose to mirror that geometry. So mirror, and it's going to be a mirror of a feature. And the feature that's going to get mirrored is going to be the sweep. And then the mirror plane is going to be the right plane here. That's nice. And we hit the check mark, and now we can press P to hide our planes. We can come down here to our parts list, and we can right click on the name of that part and say edit appearance. This is kind of like a little bonus. You don't have to do this, but it's just something that I like to do. I like to kind of change the part to match the color that the customer gave us. Customers always like it when you do that too. And then I'm also going to right click on the name of that part, and I'm going to go here to assign material. And this is going to come from the TooTallToby custom library of materials, and that material is going to be plain carbon steel. So plain carbon steel. You can visit us TooTallToby.com/materials if you want to learn more about how to set up those materials for your different CAD systems. And then here in Onshape, I'm going to click down here to measure the mass of this part. And then I'm going to click here anywhere on the part. And we're coming up with 280 grams almost exactly. Let's go. And so we come back over here into the TooTallToby app. And then we type in 380. And oh no, I misclicked. I mistyped in the number. 380. No, 280 I mean. But it does go to show that as you're going through and doing these challenges, if you do get something wrong, it's going to flag you. It's going to tell you got it wrong. So let's say we were really close. Like if we got it, if we did it at 278 grams. Nope, close, but not good enough. So it still says you're wrong here. So let's try it here. 280 and enter. Yes, we did it. Let's go. Let's go. Very, very nice. And so that is how we can do that. So using Onshape, 280 grams, 14 minutes and 26 seconds. Let's submit that answer. I'm pretty happy with that run. It's kind of a fun part to go through and do there. And I definitely learned something new. Matab in the chat says, learn new routing curve feature. Thanks. Good lesson. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I definitely learned something new about that as well. And yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. All right, guys, listen, congratulations. Good job. And while I was solving that, look at that. We went from 5 to 16 successful solvers. Very nice, very nice. And like I said, we can track the time that it takes you from when you click reveal drawing to when you enter your answer. But of course, that means that people could potentially get in there and maybe do the challenge offline and then log back in and do it and then just like answer within 2 seconds. So if that's the case, if you ever do the challenge offline, that's okay. It's not going to mess up our stats too bad. But if that were to happen, then you would have a very low solve time. But What we also have is a tracker for the time from when the model was released, and that tracker is here under this first 42. So we're going to give everybody just another minute or two to solve this one. I just wanted to say I hope you guys found that tutorial helpful. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know down in the comments if you learned anything new, of course. And what we have here at TooTallToby is we have the ability to track not only how long it takes you to solve it, but also who solved it first from the time it was released. So let's refresh the page one more time here, and let's take a look and see who earned the point in this episode of Model Monday Live. So we go into the first 42.